While the doors of abundance seem to close before you, there exists a celestial key that can unlock them forever. Every financial difficulty you've faced, every sleepless night worrying about how to pay the bills, every prayer whispered with tears of frustration, all of this is about to transform at this very moment. A divine force is about to intervene in your economic situation. What seemed like an impenetrable wall of debt and scarcity is about to be torn down by the luminous sword of a celestial warrior. It's no coincidence that you're listening to this prayer right now. This is the divine moment when Archangel Michael, the powerful commander of the heavenly hosts, is preparing to fight the invisible battles that have blocked your flow of prosperity. This is not just a prayer. It's a spiritual decree that will activate a definitive financial transformation in your life, breaking generational cycles of poverty and opening divine channels of abundance that no earthly force will ever close again. If you feel this powerful energy of financial transformation already awakening within you, write in the comments, Saint Michael, transform my financial life, and thus activate a spiritual covenant of prosperity that will begin to manifest in your daily reality. Archangel Michael, mighty general of the celestial armies, glorious prince of invisible realms, divine guardian of cosmic balance, I kneel before you with an open heart and a trusting spirit. You who wield the sword of divine truth, who wear the armor of eternal justice, who carry the shield of celestial equity. Today I invoke you with urgency and deep faith for a specific mission in my life. I come to you not as a stranger, but as a child of light who recognizes in you the divine champion of justice, even in earthly and material affairs. Archangel Michael, you who defeated the forces of darkness in the heavens, I ask you now to turn your attention to the invisible battle being fought in the financial sphere of my existence with the same courage with which you confronted the evil one. I pray that you confront and defeat the negative spiritual forces that have created blocks, limitations, and barriers to my material prosperity. Your luminous sword, which cut the chains of celestial oppression, can now break the invisible chains of poverty that have held me prisoner for too long. Archangel Michael, I ask you to examine my current financial situation with your penetrating gaze. See the debts that crush me like oppressive weights. Observe the opportunities that seem to slip through my mind. Fingers like sand. Notice how prosperity seems to flow toward others, while I remain in a desert of scarcity. With your celestial vision, identify the spiritual roots of this condition. Ancestral curses of poverty that may have been transmitted through generations. Energetic blocks that prevent money from flowing freely into my life. Negative mental patterns regarding wealth that I have unconsciously adopted. Harmful spiritual contracts that I have established in this life or past lives with limitation and lack. With your powerful sword of divine fire, Archangel Michael, cut every energetic cord that binds me to this condition of scarcity. Sever every connection with past experiences of financial failure, with traumatic memories of economic losses, with painful recollections of material humiliation. Free my soul from unconscious oaths of poverty, from spiritual promises of renunciation, from vows of scarcity that may have created an invisible ceiling above my ability to generate and accumulate wealth. Dissolve any energetic imprint of past failures that continues to negatively influence my present financial decisions. Archangel Michael, extend your divine protection over every aspect of my economic life. Surround my assets, investments, and savings with your impenetrable shield, protecting them from unjust losses, from hasty decisions, from manipulative influences. Create a spiritual barrier around my finances that repels energies of dispersion, forces of dissipation, entities of sabotage that might seek to drain my resources or inspire destructive financial decisions. With your guardian presence, drive away people with dishonest intentions who might approach me with deceptive proposals, with illusory promises, with disadvantageous contracts. Archangel Michael, I invoke you as the divine strategist of my financial transformation, you who coordinate the celestial armies with perfect precision. Now organize a divine strategy for my economic liberation. Send your angels of prosperity to open doors of opportunity that until now have remained invisible to my eyes. Dispatch your celestial messengers to inspire the minds of those who can offer me advantageous positions, fruitful collaborations, favorable contracts. Position your spiritual sentinels in places of economic decision where my name is mentioned, so that I may find favor, recognition, and appreciation as you guided the chosen people through the desert to a land of milk and honey. Now guide my steps out of the desert of scarcity toward a territory of continuous abundance. Illuminate my professional path with divine insights that allow me to identify the most promising opportunities, to recognize strategic moments, to make wise and far-sighted financial decisions. Sharpen my spiritual perception to discern genuine occasions from misleading distractions, solid investments from risky speculations, reliable partners from opportunistic manipulators. Archangel Michael, with the purifying fire of your presence, radically transform my relationship with money and prosperity. Burn away every limiting belief I have inherited or developed throughout my life. The idea that wealth is spiritually impure, that prosperity is incompatible with virtue, that poverty is somehow nobler or more pleasing to God than abundance. Dissolve these distorted thought patterns that have silently sabotaged my wealth creation efforts, replacing them with the divine truth that abundance is a sacred blessing, a divine birthright, a tangible expression of the Creator's infinite generosity. Purify my energy field from vibrations of scarcity, from frequencies of limitation, from resonances of poverty that I have accumulated through experiences of deprivation, episodes of loss, moments of economic despair. Elevate my vibrational frequency to the level of unlimited abundance, constant inflow, unstoppable prosperity. Retune my being to a channel of continuous wealth, infinite opportunities, inexhaustible resources that flow into my life with the same naturalness with which water flows in a river. Archangel Michael, remove from my subconscious any negative programming regarding money, the fear of not deserving wealth, the anxiety of losing what I earn, the guilt of accepting abundance while others suffer, the fear of being judged or envied for my material success. Reprogram my unconscious mind with divine codes of unlimited prosperity, unwavering trust, absolute certainty in my divine right to abundance in all its forms. Install deep within my being the unshakable conviction that the more wealth I receive, the more I can positively contribute to the world. The more resources I accumulate, the more I can share with generosity, the more prosperity I generate, the more I can be an instrument of blessing for others. Archangel Michael, I ask you to intervene concretely in my immediate financial circumstances with your divine authority. Command a supernatural multiplication of my current resources as Jesus multiplied the loaves and fishes to feed thousands of people. Now multiply the fruits of my labor, the results of my investments, the returns on my initiatives. Accelerate the manifestation of pending payments, due refunds, earned compensation that has been withheld or delayed. Dissolve bureaucratic obstacles, administrative complications, procedural hitches that have blocked the flow of money that legitimately belongs to me. Activate in the spiritual realm a process of divine restitution for everything that has been unjustly taken from me throughout my life. Denied opportunities, deserved but unreceived promotions, inadequate compensation for value created, profits diverted by others, inheritances withheld through deception as you restored Job with double what he had lost. Now restore my financial situation with an abundance that exceeds everything that has been subtracted from my life through injustice, dishonesty, or manipulation. Archangel Michael, as you reestablish divine justice in my finances, also open new channels of economic inflow in my life with your sword. Trace celestial paths of prosperity that connect my reality with sources of abundance previously inaccessible. Create divine bridges between my talents and monetization opportunities, between my abilities and material rewards, between my gifts and the economic recognition they deserve. Attract into my orbit divine people who can recognize the value I bring, appreciate the contribution I offer, adequately reward the energy I invest. Archangel Michael, I ask you to free my talents from blocks of insecurity, from veils of false modesty, from chains of fear of success that have prevented their full expression and consequent material reward. Remove the inner obstacles that have held me back from asking for fair compensation, from negotiating with confidence, from presenting myself with the authority of one who knows their own worth. Dissolve the unconscious resistances that have led me to sabotage my own success when it seemed to be getting too close, to withdraw when abundance was about to manifest, to create dramas or crises when I was about to reach a new level of prosperity with your divine influence. Archangel Michael, also transform my relationship with the concept of wealth, expand my definition of abundance beyond the simple accumulation of money, toward a more holistic understanding that includes free time, enriching experiences, nurturing relationships, vibrant health, growth opportunities, freedom of choice, peace of mind. Daily joy help me recognize that true prosperity is not measured only in figures on a bank account, but in the overall quality of life, in the freedom to be and to become, in the ability to generate value and share it with the world at the same time. Archangel Michael, anchor me to the spiritual wisdom that allows me to use material wealth as a tool for personal and collective evolution, not as the ultimate purpose of existence. Teach me to be a wise steward of the resources that flow into my life, to manage with responsibility the abundance I manifest, to share with generosity the blessings I receive. Help me understand that every dollar that passes through my hands is divine energy in material form, to be treated with respect, invested with wisdom, shared with discernment. Archangel Michael, I also ask you to help me maintain spiritual balance as my material prosperity grows. Protect me from the trap of excessive attachment, of identification with possessed goods, of pride based on accumulation. Keep my heart centered in eternal values, while my temporal circumstances improve, my soul anchored to spiritual truths, while my bank account expands, my spirit connected to the divine source, while material manifestations multiply in my life. Archangel Michael, as you work on the transformation of my financial reality, I ask you to extend your beneficial influence also to my family, my lineage, the future generations that will come after me. Break every generational curse of poverty, every family pattern of limitation, every ancestral model of scarcity that might continue to influence my bloodline. Replace these destructive programs with blessings of prosperity that will flow from generation to generation, creating a new lineage of abundance, a new spiritual genetic heritage of conscious wealth. I ask you to purify my family tree from cellular memories of economic depression, from collective traumas of deprivation, from ancestral experiences of indigence that continue to resonate in the spiritual DNA of my family. Reprogram the collective memory of my lineage with new codes of divine prosperity, unlimited success, natural abundance that will become the new reference point for all those connected to me by bonds of blood or spirit. Archangel Michael, as you perform this radical transformation in the economic dimension of my life, I feel your powerful presence intensifying around me. I perceive the warmth of your energy, dissolving blocks frozen for years, the light of your sword illuminating paths of prosperity hidden until now, the strength of your shield repelling energies of financial sabotage that have sought to keep me in a state of perpetual limitation. I feel that you are doing much more than I have asked or imagined, that you are working on multiple levels of reality to reestablish the divine abundance that is mine by spiritual birthright. With each moment that passes in this prayer, I feel the old patterns of scarcity dissolving, limiting beliefs liquefying, energy blocks disintegrating under the power of your divine presence. I feel new possibilities opening in the quantum field of infinite potentialities, new roads of prosperity materializing before my spiritual eyes, new connections of abundance forming in the invisible fabric of reality surrounding me. The transformation is no longer just a future possibility. It is happening now, in this sacred moment. As your angelic energy interacts with my human consciousness in a divine alchemy of economic transmutation. Archangel Michael, as I approach the conclusion of this invocation, I feel that something profound and irreversible has changed in the energetic structure of my financial reality. What before seemed solid and immutable, scarcity, limitation, lack, now appears fluid and malleable. What seemed distant and unreachable, abundance, prosperity, material security, now feels within reach, imminent, ready to manifest in the tangible dimension of my daily life. I thank you, powerful Archangel, for this divine transformation you have operated in my energy field, in my financial reality, in my material destiny. I thank you for breaking invisible chains, for removing ancestral blocks, for dissolving limiting programming that has hindered the free flow of divine abundance in my life. I thank you for reactivating my birthright to unlimited prosperity, to conscious wealth, to abundance in all its forms. From this moment forward, I will walk in the world with a new awareness of my intrinsic value, of my ability to generate wealth, of my divine right to material prosperity. I will recognize the opportunities you have arranged on my path, follow the intuitions you have planted in my mind, act with the confidence that comes from knowing that the powerful Archangel Michael is working tirelessly for my definitive financial transformation. I will no longer see money as an enemy, fear, or a master to serve, but as an ally to respect and a tool to use for the highest good of myself and others. I will no longer perceive wealth as an elusive goal or an undeserved privilege, but as a natural manifestation of my alignment with the infinite abundance of the universe, as a tangible expression of the unlimited generosity of the Creator Archangel Michael. As I seal this prayer with deep gratitude, I ask you to continue to watch over my financial life, to protect the new channels of prosperity you have opened, to support the economic transformation you have begun. May your shield remain as a protective barrier around my resources. May your sword continue to cut hidden obstacles on my path to abundance. May your light continue to illuminate the financial decisions I will make in the future. I welcome with faith and gratitude the definitive financial transformation you have activated in my life. I receive it as a divine gift, honor it as a sacred responsibility, celebrate it as a manifestation of cosmic justice that now works fully through you in the material dimension of my existence. In your powerful name, I declare that my financial life is transformed, that my prosperity is assured, that my abundance is manifested now and forever. And so it is, and so it shall be. For the glory of God and the fulfillment of my divine destiny on earth. If this prayer has deeply touched your heart, know that Archangel Michael has already begun to work invisibly in the financial dimension of your life. The divine gears of prosperity have been set in motion. The chains of economic limitation have begun to break. The seeds of abundance have been planted in the fertile ground of your reality. But this is only the first phase of your complete financial transformation. The next prayer that now appears on the screen has been divinely orchestrated to complete the process of economic liberation that has just begun in your life. It is not a coincidence that it appears right now. It is part of a sacred sequence designed in the celestial realms to bring you to total and definitive financial freedom, while Saint Michael has begun to break the invisible blocks that have held back your prosperity. The next prayer will activate divine channels of abundance that will bring concrete and tangible manifestations into your daily reality. It is as if the first prayer prepared the ground, removed the weeds of scarcity, and plowed the field of your consciousness, while the next will plant the divine seeds that will bear abundant fruits of prosperity in your material life. Do not interrupt this sacred process of economic transformation. Now click on the next prayer and allow the divine flow of abundance to continue pouring into your life, bringing with it unexpected opportunities, miraculous resources, divine solutions to the financial problems that have afflicted you until today. Heaven has prepared a complete path of economic liberation for you, and each prayer is an essential step in this journey toward the definitive prosperity that is yours by divine right.